Hello guys, I'm Super-On, welcome back to the channel and we're here again for another Auto Shack episode, and my job this week, we're starting this recommission and restoration on this super desirable Laguna Seca Blue E46 M3.
Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Day we hustle, but the night we know that they ride or die. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Day we hustle, but the night we boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about.
Now, as you can see, this car has been off the road for a long time. It was last on the road in 2013 and it's still with the same owner, and he's had it for a long time, and his plan is to get it all fully restored back to its original condition. As you can see, the car is really let down now by some bad previous paintwork. All the top coat of lacquer is coming off and it's quite obvious which panels are the factory paint and which ones have been redone. Car overall is in fantastic condition, especially for one of these which are really prone to rust around the front arches, the sills, the back arches. This one is in amazing condition. The front arches are immaculate. There's not a spot of rust on them. The arch this side is also absolutely perfect. The only rust on the whole car is a few little scabs on the rear arch that side and one little scab from a chip on the rear panel. So even though the car has been off the road over 8 years, we can pretty much class this as doing a respray rather than a full restoration. Before we start on the bodywork, what we're going to do is the full mechanical recommission. Because it has been sat for so long, everything is seized up, everything is rusty, and it needs a good mechanical check over. So we do it this way round because there's no point getting it all painted up and all perfect and then have to lean over it and move things and unbolt wheels and suspension and everything else. Just runs the risk of scratching or marking something. So we're going to do all the mechanicals first. I'm going to give it a full service. We're going to change all the fluids, all the filters, the spark plug. It's going to need new brakes all round, and it's also going to need new suspension. Because of the broken springs at the back, the owners decided to upgrade to BC Racing coilovers. We've used these quite a few times in the past, and they give a great compromise between handling and comfort. And we're going to set it at about factory ride height, so from the outside it is still going to look like a completely original M3. And that is what our intentions are, to fully respray it. It's got the hard top as well, which we're going to paint, go all the way around. The owner's going to get the wheels refurbed, new tyres, because obviously after all this time sitting, these ones are perished and cracked, and we want to time warp this thing back to 2001 when it came out of the showroom. In fact, we're going to make it even better than when it came out of the showroom. It's got all the original blue leather interior, which makes a great combo for this car. So let's get it up on the ramp, start checking it over and see what mechanicals I need to do. And as you can see under here, it's pretty obvious this hasn't moved in a very long time. It's full of cobwebs, all the aluminium's gone a bit furry, but overall it looks in great condition. There's no oil leaks, nothing to be concerned about rust wise, all looks pretty good. All the bushes look good. We're going to give it a full blowout with the airline and just double check everything. Change all the fluids, the coolant, the engine oil, the brake fluid, give the gearbox a check over. It looks like the oil here can stay in. Lifetime oil, no oil change. So we'll start with a full engine service. And next up will be brakes and suspension. You can see they've not moved in a long time, and the shocks and springs are pretty ropey as well. Same on the rear. All the discs and pads are all very corroded, and like I said at the beginning, we need new springs on the rear because the little pigtails are snapped off, so we're going to fit the BC coilovers and solve that problem. And that's the brakes and suspension all back together. Got the BC Racing coilovers all in, great bit of kit. The shortened drop links, got the new discs and pads, and I cleaned up the calipers and gave them a lick of paint, and the dust guards at the back. So it's all looking super fresh. Everything's bled up, all the old fluids pumped through. And the back's all done as well. New discs, pads, all the BC Racing suspension is all on. Got carried away with all the painting. Got all the caliper, the carrier, all the suspension arms, everything underneath. So it's all looking super duper smart. So now we can get this back down on the floor. So that is it, all up and running. It's going to look loads better when the wheels are all refurbed. Obviously they're in quite a state from being sitting. With all the wheels, new tyres and these shiny brakes, this is going to look amazing. So next up is going to be the bodywork. Like I said, there's only this little scab there, a little bit down there, and a little chip on the back. Apart from that, this body is immaculate. It's so straight, this rear arch, all the factory paint. And more importantly, on these E46s, obviously the front arches usually rust right out. But apart from the bad paintwork flaking off, this one is pristine. So it's going to get all cleaned up. We're going to have new badges, new lights, fully refurbished diamond cut wheels. The coilovers are on and we're set at about standard ride height. So this is going to look absolutely amazing when it's all done. And also got the engine bay all done and cleaned up and detailed. Got rid of all the cobwebs and all the leaves that were in here. Polished up all the turrets. So we're fully serviced and running perfectly. Also a nice little touch, the BC coilovers hide under the standard little caps here. So we've got camber and damper adjustment, and they hide under there. So it looks nice and factory still from the outside. So I'm going to wrap this episode up here. We've got lots more parts on the way. We've got all new rear lights, new side repeaters, new indicators, new badges, all the cosmetics. So when it's all repainted, it's going to look super duper fresh. Considering it's been off the road so long, it runs absolutely spot on now. All the mechanics are done, and we could probably go and take it for an MOT now and it'd pass straight through. But I think what we're going to do, we're going to get it all done together, get it all painted, all resprayed, and then it'll be ready to go back to the customer for him to enjoy for the summer. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Make sure you give it a like and be sure to subscribe, because we do lots and lots of things here at Auto Shack. From supercars to rare cars like this to Japanese cars, there's really no telling what we're going to be doing next. So there is always something for someone. So until next time, make sure you have fun.